Hello, so it's the 25th of January 2026. We're back for another one, and this time we've got some fresh news coming out today.
Let's get right into the news.
Andy Burnham's bid to return as MP blocked by Labour's ruling body. Now, a little bit of context regarding the whole this situation. So a few days ago, one of the ex-Labour ministers, well, he's ex-Labour now.
Oh, really?
But a few days ago, he quit as an MP, which essentially, in the seat where he was MP for, it was the case that when he stood down, there was a chance for Andy Burnham, who's the Manchester mayor, for him to run as an MP, because there's been talk for a while of the next Labour leader being Andy Burnham, getting everyone behind him, and to be honest, I am not a fan of Labour. But with Andy Burnham, I think they'd have a good chance of actually doing something, which is probably good. Anyway, this guy, Andrew Gwynn, whatever his name is, stood down, paving the way for Manchester Mayor Andy Burnham to potentially run in a by-election in his Gorton and Denton constituency. Where the hell is Gorton and Denton? Let's have a look at that. So, Gorton and Denton. I bet it's a lovely place. But it's lovely. Is this it? Gorton? Right, Gorton. Let's pull out a random place in Gorton and let's have a look. Ha! Oh, actually, that is... I was expecting some fucking horrible slums, but actually, it's quite a nice picture. Quite a nice picture. Let's see. Where else have we got in Gorton? Where's normally nice? Let's have a look around here. There we go. This is the Manchester. It looks nice, though, because it's 2017, you see, so it's... not had 10 years to decay. We'll go to one more place in Gorton. Whereabouts, right? Right, here we go. And here we go. We've got his place, I think. Oh, here is his constituency office. Look at that. Look at that. You got a good view here of the constituency office. Here we've got the ex-Labour minister. This is where he resides in his constituency. This lovely, lovely building covered by the tree. The tree doesn't even want you to see what's going on in here. But this is his MP constituency office anyway. And yeah, essentially, significant ill health, had been advised by his GP, not safe to work. Not safe to go and sit down and shout at each other in the House of Commons, is it?
You don't need it to be Christmas to know when you're sitting next to a turkey.
And then it was elected in... It was suspended after he'd sent offensive WhatsApp messages. He said it's to do with his health. It is more so probably because of the fact that he was sending dodgy messages. But anyway, right, he's quit. So what we've got now is this, you know, we'll go back to the actual pressing story of Andy Burnham. So Andy Burnham has been blocked from standing as a candidate for an upcoming parliamentary by-election in Gorton and Denton by Labour's ruling body. As a directly elected mayor, Burnham had to get the approval from Labour's National Executive Committee after he applied to be a candidate on Saturday. Basically, from the looks of this, they've got all these words here, which is just a load of gobbledygook, just to say that actually, we're not having this guy come in as an MP. Because, look at this, it is a big political gamble by allies of the Prime Minister and risks inflaming tensions within the party, which is consistently drilling Reform UK in national opinion polls. They really had to rub that in there, didn't they? Trailing behind Reform UK. This is not a good move from Labour. Not that they've, not that I'd ever come on and say here and say, wow, look at that move by Labour. That was fantastic. That was a really good decision. It just don't make a lot of sense. Andy Burnham probably would get the party around him. I'm not, again, a Labour guy, but I'm not particularly a other guy as well. I'm just sort of flirting in the old cosmos. Anyway, but we have got a little video here, a Sky News video. We'll take a little listen, we'll put the headphones on. We'll see what the heck is going on. Right. Let's have a go.
The board of the National Executive Committee, which made this decision earlier this morning, have put out a statement effectively explaining their reasons for doing this. And it's quite interesting. I'm going to read you some of it. So they say that they believe causing an unnecessary election for the position of Greater Manchester Mayor would have a substantial and disproportionate impact on party campaign resources ahead of the local elections and elections to the Scottish Parliament and Welsh Senate in May. They say that although the party party would be confident of retaining the mayoralty. The NEC couldn't put Labour's control of Greater Manchester at any risk, and that is quite significant because although there isn't explicit local polling on a local level, the general polls of the area that have been done do seem to point potentially to Reform winning the mayoralty over Andy Burnham. And even in his statement where he wrote about why he wanted to become an MP, one of the reasons was about the fact that politics was becoming so divisive, pitting people against each other, and part of that seemed to me to read as a bit about of an attack on Reform. So he knows full well the kind of risks that they pose in his constituency and in the area of Manchester. Now, the statement goes on to say, Andy Burnham is doing a great job as Mayor of Greater Manchester. We believe it's in the best interest of
Look at him, he's back. Look at this pragmatic man, look at him with that chirpy smile. What a snake stood next to Andy Burnham.
Party to avoid an unnecessary mayoral election which would use substantial amounts of taxpayers' money and resources that are better spent tackling the cost of living crisis. And they go...
Oh, the cost of living crisis. We'll plug that one in there. We'll plug the cost of living crisis. I thought bringing winter fuel payments down was going to stop the cost of living crisis, Mr. Starmer. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Forward to fighting and winning the upcoming by-election in Gorton and Denton, and a positive campaign which will be fully focused on tackling the cost of living and bringing investment to the local area.
Investment to the local area. What are we focusing on bringing investment to the local area for? Manchester. Let's see. I don't know whereabouts in Manchester it is, but look at this on the screen. Manchester 10 years ago. Look at it now. Attracting investment into the local area. Come on. Anyway, we've got that from Sky. Starmer, for some reason, just doesn't like democracy, it seems. I mean, am I going to get arrested for this again? Perhaps. Possibly. This is ridiculous because how can you not let someone stand in an MP? I get it. He's the mayor of Manchester as well. When are the mayor elections? Okay, so we've probably got another 4 years till that then. Another bit of time. Look, it is what it is, isn't it? Like, he's not going to be able to be an MP. They don't want to get him behind him because Starmer just wants to cling on to as much power as he can. Starmer does not want to let go, no matter what happens. It's like the whole thing that happened with Rachel Reeves when she was crying. Like, why was you crying, Rachel? She knew she was going to be at risk of a job. Starmer was too much of a pushover to let her go. Any other PM would have done it. But apparently the adults are in charge. That is what they won on, apparently. So, not only have we got Starmer stopping Andy Burnham from running as an MP, we've also got the fact that they're delaying English council elections as well. Now, this is more of on a local level. This is your local councils that usually get done around in May time. May time. And this says the minister responsible for council elections has confirmed that 29 English councils planning elections for May will now have these postponed. Local Government Secretary Steve Reid told the House of Commons he had approved delays until 2027, with a final application under consideration due to it being submitted on Thursday morning. They're in no rush. Opposition MPs have criticised the decision, saying delays would potentially disenfranchise millions of voters, but Reid stressed the vast majority of elections would still be going ahead. Well, that's good. That's good. This is another thing that's been in the woodworks for a little bit of time. These elections, right, here we go. So these, you can see pretty much the ones that are not going to be going ahead. Delayed and going ahead. So these blue ones are delayed. This is your Norfolk, Suffolk maybe. You know, maybe Bournemouth, maybe Bristol. I don't think so. Bristol's there, isn't it? Somewhere around here. Anyway, we've got those delays. Oh, here we go. So here are the councils which have asked to postpone their elections. So we'll read through them now. Get ready, everyone. So we've got Adder District Council, Basildon Borough Council, Blackburn with Down Council, Burnley Borough Council, Cannock Chase District Council, Cheltenham, Chorley, City of Lincoln. That's not good. I used to live in Lincoln. City of Lincoln, fucking pull your fingers out. Crawley, East Sussex, Exeter, Harlow, Hastings, Hindburn, Ipswich, Norfolk, Norwich, Peterborough. I didn't even know Peterborough would have a council, to be fair. Preston, Redditch, Rugby, Stevenage, Jesus Christ, Suffolk, Tamworth, Thurrock, Welwyn, West Lancashire, West Sussex, Worthing, and these are the ones that are going ahead. Basingstoke and Dean, never would have a surprise there. Brentwood, of course, Broxburn, Cambridge, Sherwell, Colchester, Eastleigh, Epping, Essex, Fareham, Gosport, Hampshire, Hart, Havant, Huntingdonshire. I'm not dyslexic, I promise. I'm just Huntingdonshire, Isle of Wight, Newcastle under Lyme, North East Lincolnshire Council. That's good. That one's going ahead. North East Lincolnshire is probably a bit more based than City of Lincoln. Nuneaton and Bedworth, Oxford, Pendle, Plymouth, Portsmouth, Rochford, Rushmore, South Cambridgeshire, Southampton, Southend on Sea, and that's not even a good accent. Three Rivers District Council, Tunbridge Wells, Watford Borough Council, West Oxfordshire, and Winchester. Now, I mean, to postpone council elections, you're not doing a lot, but, you know, let's look at the results from the previous set of council elections that we had.
How stupid!
So here we go, the previous council elections that we had, the local elections in 2025. As you can see, Labour lost 187 of their councillors. Reform gained 677.
You all laughed at me. Well, I have to say, you're not laughing now, are you?
Tories down 674, which is huge. A lot of that will have been driven by the reform opportunity, I guess, by being able to vote for reform. You got your Labour, you got your Green as well. Now, the Green councils, they're not good. They're one to watch out for. Look, let's use our brains on that one. I'm not going to go into detail. But we've got Reform at the top, 677 councillors. They did really well in the latest elections. There are more to be had. These are the ones where the Reform took over pretty much. We've got Durham, Lincolnshire, Nottingham, Derby, Staffordshire, West Northamptonshire, North Northamptonshire, and Kent. And then, yeah, we got those. So that's pretty much where these got taken. We also got the mayoral results. So we got Greater Lincolnshire, the mayor results. I'm not good at that word. We got Lincolnshire went to Reform. So did Hull and East Yorkshire. That's where I'm from. We've got Luke Campbell as our mayor. So many controversial opinions, some like him, some don't. I've not really noticed actually what he's done at all. I've not seen any difference. I don't know what a mayor has done compared to what it was like before, because there's no difference at all. It's like we've not got a mayor. Like, we don't need one. But yeah, no, we've got one, and that's Reform. Now, essentially with this, you got Labour, got Doncaster. I don't even know why Doncaster would need a mayor, but Hull and East Yorkshire has always been a predominant Labour city. Well, I say East Yorkshire. I say Hull more in general. I say Hull more in general because Hull has had 3 Labour MPs for a while. I don't think it's ever switched. We've got Hull East, Hull West, and Hull North. The Hull East MP is a king at the moment. Carl Turner. They're all Labour. I don't particularly like them, but Carl Turner is actually standing up against Starmer. A little Hull plug here. I know this is again off topic, but he is truly one of the good guys. So here we've got this British electoral politics. I don't really know how good this is as a source of information, but Labour MP for Kingston upon Hull East, Carl Turner threatened to resign and trigger a by-election unless the government U-turns on its plans to scrap jury trials for crimes with sentences under 3 years. This video is not particularly about that, but Carl Turner is quite high up in the Labour Party. He's been in the Labour Party for a while. Again, not a fan.
You've got no friends!
But Carl Turner, I think he broke the whip for the first time he had ever done since being a politician, since being a Labour MP anyway. Just because of that. And if this doesn't show you the infighting that's happening in Labour, and then they're going to go ahead and try and block Andy Burnham's bid to return as an MP, this just goes to show that the backbenchers, especially the Labour backbenchers, are not going to be happy with this, just because Starmer is not seen as a true Labour MP, really. I don't think, amongst his own party. They said they'd get rid of the division when they got elected into politics after the Tories with Boris and then Liz Truss and fucking Sunak and whoever else, all the other prime ministers that we had. It just didn't go well, and then Labour said they were going to be different, and they weren't different. They're not different. They're blocking Andy Burnham, they're blocking these council elections, which they say is not their fault. They say it's because we're having the biggest reshuffle of council elections that we've ever seen. And then you've got councils here granted to flexibility to finish reorganisation, and this is literally what I'm saying. This once-in-a-generation reform will end the outdated two-tier system and build stronger local councils. What coincidental timing. Some local authorities have been streamlined to improve services and speed up decision making. Will have their Local elections postponed. The government confirmed it will bring forward legislation to postpone elections for 29 councils that provided sufficient evidence on how postponement would release capacity to help deliver local government reorganisation. This is the list that we've read through just then. The way that they've worded it is like, look at this. Secretary of State for Housing, Communities and Local Government, Steve Reed, said, "This is a once-in-a-generation reform that will transform local government for the better. Cutting through the two-tier bureaucracy means faster decisions on housing, simpler access to services and more money going to potholes, tackling crime and caring for older people instead of being lost to duplication. That's what residents want and that's what reorganisations will achieve." This is just a load of rubbish. Like, it is a load of rubbish, because they're just going to keep trying to postpone these council elections as much as they can, because they don't want to lose their Labour councils to reform, as they did in the the latest one in 2025, by a large percentage. Labour, they lost 187 councillors, and it's just ridiculous because there is a fight going on at the moment. We are being pushed away from democracy and we're getting a rise in fascism. And people will say, well, what? The Labour Party fascists? I'm not saying they are, but we've got the fact that they're stopping Andy Burnham coming and they're stopping the council elections. Well, this is just pretty much today's news. Andy Burnham not being able to return. Not being able to return as an MP. It is a bit of an oversight, an overreach, I think, by the Labour's ruling body. I think they will find that this is going to shoot them in the foot. For some reason, they always seem to make these absolutely distasteful decisions where they come to regret it, and they'll probably U-turn on this very soon when they realise that the public would vote for him. And Labour, they are literally dying out. If they want a chance of survival, they're probably going to need to get Andy Burnham in again. And if they're not doing that, they are literally planting the seed for their own demise. But that's just another weekend in England. Keir Starmer's Britain. But yeah, what do you think? Do you think that Andy Burnham should be allowed to be an MP? Do you think that should be allowed? Do you think? I don't know. I think he should. I think he should be allowed. Don't know why he's not. Do you think that the councils should delay the elections? Do you actually think that this reorganisation is going to help you out in any way? Is it going to lower your council tax? No. Is it going to get rid of the potholes on the roads? Absolutely not. Is it going to make public services even better? Probably not. Because why the hell would it? Nothing else in the last fucking 10 years has made any public services better. Apart from if you live in Hull, they've actually got rid of the scaffolding on Hull Royal. That's pretty good. But other than that, there's nothing is going to change. Nothing ever changes. Nothing ever happens. Apart from the rabbit with the clock. But anyway, let me know what you think. I'll be back again and we'll look at some more amazing news that comes out, because I'm sure there will be something better.